Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy here for Whimsy Stamps. Thanks for joining me on this Labor Day, Monday, 2023. I am running a little bit late with this video this morning. It's my day off, so I'm just kind of taking it a little bit easy. I've got my morning cup of coffee and wanted to sit down and chat with you guys. So I am making a almost one layer card. I'm doing some masking and some ink blending, and we're going to come up with a really spooky kind of glowing background for a holiday card. Now, first I want to apologize for being off screen. I had zoomed in and didn't realize I had zoomed in, so I'm showing you the best of my footage, but this part is just basic stamping. So I stamped my little kitty image, which is from the Cat-O-Lanterns stamp set. It's absolutely adorable, this whole stamp set. This is the only image that I've used, and I can't wait to use the others as well. But I stamped it out, and then I decided I wanted to add the bats, so I went back and I put the bats from the same set, put them in there as well, and just stamped in my memento. Now, this is the masking part, right? I have some masking paper, or I thought it was masking paper, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So I stamped it out as well, knowing that I'd have to cut it out. Now, there are different schools of thought. If you don't want what they call a halo around your image, a white halo, you want to cut either just inside or on the black line. If you cut outside of that line, then your mask is going to be larger than your image, and when you do your ink blending, there will be like a white highlight or halo all the way around your image. So for me, I cut as close to the black line as I could. I didn't want to go on the inside of it, but I feel like I got on it at least through most of it. So got it all cut out. I used some fussy cutting scissors, and I just was patient, watched a video for a minute or two, and just cut it out. So here you see me wiggling my fingers. I'm realizing that this is not masking paper. It's actually an adhesive sheet, and I had no idea. No idea. But at this point, like, what are you going to do? So I've already got it laid down. I'm fixing this little creased piece, just using my little pokey tool, and I just go to town. So when you lay down your mask, you want to make sure that it covers over your image, that it's not askew anywhere, it's not like wonky in one place, maybe the tail's out of place. Take your time, slow it down a little bit, just make sure that everything's where it needs to be. Now, y'all know me, I'm not worried about perfection, but I am wanting to do the best job that I can, right? I mean, that's why we make cards. We want them to look good. We want to be happy with our work. So taking that little bit of extra time will help you be happy with your work as it did with me. So just the down and dirty ink blending, right? I've got, what colors did I use? If I can figure them out, I'll put them on screen, but I feel like that Scattered Straw. This I know is Peeled Paint, and then the next one is Stormy Sky. I just can't remember exactly the yellow. Just doing that same old down and dirty ink blending that I do so often. Just getting color down. Just getting color down. Don't worry about that smooth blend. You just don't have to do that. Now you want to go back in a little bit and try to blend out some of that harshness, and but we'll get there. We'll get there. So now I'm doing the Stormy Sky, and I'm blending from that yellow, which is going to be the glow. That's going to be the glow around our whole image, and then green, and then blue, and I'll actually end up with purple and black as well. Yeah. So here I'm just going in, I'm finishing going around with the blue, and you can see that as I add the color down, it's not near as splotchy as it once was. Now, one tip for doing the glow, I find that if you go much bigger than you anticipate your glow to be, then you'll have a nice size glow when you're done, because the other colors that you blend with it are going to kind of eat up that glow. Yellow always gets eaten up. I don't care if you're doing a rainbow, if you're doing sunflowers, it doesn't matter. Yellow gets eaten up. So I do a bigger swath, is that the word I'm looking for? A bigger area of the yellow glow than what I know I'm going to need, because I just fill it up with ink. So there I did the yellow, the green, the blue. I have not come in, oh, I did come in with the purple just around the very edges. And now, this is where I start to build on that background. Now notice I kept my mask in place. And here I'm using, let me make sure I give you the right name. This is the Vintage Wallpaper Background Stamp. It's red rubber. All of the background stamps are red rubber cling. And I'm stamping with water, essentially. I'm spraying it down with water, and then I put it down on the cardstock, and I leave it there for a second, and that allows that imprint, and it actually lifts some of that ink. Now, I'm also using the Vintage Script, and I'm using ink. I'm using the purple ink, but I sprayed it down with water before I actually put it to paper. Now here, I almost didn't show this, but I thought it was important because it adds an extra detail. So I'm using the Grunge Canvas background stamp, and I'm actually stamping with the Eyes ink. It's a white ink, and it adds that grunge that I love. Like if I were using a brayer, if I had something with texture, I would use the brayer and it would hit all those high points of the texture, but I didn't have that. This is one layer. So I went in with that stamp and it added those white speckly bits. And then you saw that I took the water sprayer again, sprayed it in my hand, and I just kind of clapped over my project. That's just to get some of those water spots. And you can see, especially down the right side, that there's some really good defined water spots there. Some of them are smaller, but at the end I will have some up close pictures and you'll be able to see that a little bit better. You can see how all of that inking and that stamping went over the bats, but that's okay. I have a remedy for that as well, and it's going to be just fine. Now here is where it kind of got complicated, if you will, in terms of trying to color, because when I lifted the release paper, it left the adhesive. The adhesive is still on there. I'm coloring over the adhesive, and I had no idea how to get it off. I tried to use alcohol. Yeah, it wasn't going to work, and I had done too much to it at this point to try anything else. So I finished coloring. Now this little part right here, this is where I do just that dabbing technique that I've mentioned before. I learned this from a designer named Anna White, W-I-G-H-T, and it's just a dabbing versus a stroke. So I like the way that leaves some texture, and it's a little bit mottled without being grungy, but yeah. I don't remember what I started to say before I remembered the cat. Oh, the adhesive. So yeah, once everything is said and done and I'm off camera, then I used my anti-static powder bag, and I just kind of patted it all over it and made sure that it got down into the sticky, and then I used a big brush and I swept it off. I think it's called the Big Sweep or something like that by Nuvo. I thought that I would never use that brush, and I use it almost daily. But yeah, so that's how I took care of the sticky. It's still a little bit tacky, but it's not sticky. So nothing is actually sticking to it. It actually created a little bit of texture. And in some places there's more adhesive than others, so the color looks a little bit different. But I don't know. My encouragement would be make sure you're using masking paper and not adhesive. Okay, back to the card. So I have those 3 bats that come from the Boo. I believe it's just called Boo. Where did they go? Oh, Build a Graveyard. I'm so sorry. Build a Graveyard. And there are 3 different sizes, and I actually cut them out of fun foam, so they have a bit of texture to them. And then earlier I had kind of auditioned the card panel on the black cardstock because I wasn't sure if I wanted a black card base or just a black panel, but I really liked the idea of the white frame and then the black. So I chose the black card base, which is why I'm putting this white panel on the inside, because you have to have somewhere to write, because not everybody has a white gel pen or some other kind of medium that they can write in over black. And I just used my scoring tool just to create a little bit of texture, some simple lines. That's all I did. And it just adds a little bit of interest without having to decorate, because I don't typically do anything on the inside of my cards. It's very rare. But Yeah, I'm happy with this card. I think it's super cute. I love the way those prism stars catch the light. It's so, so pretty. I showed it to my kiddo yesterday. We were on a video chat, and the stars just glistened so beautifully. Yeah, it was good. It was good. You can see that I also added some splatter to the background. I did that with the purple ink, and I have a little bit of a spider web in that top left corner that was done out of some vellum. And I think that's it. I think all the details are there to be seen, so you can always just pause and take a closer look. Obviously, leave me any questions or comments that you have downstairs in the description box or in the comment box, and catch us over on Facebook, on Pinterest, on Instagram. And until next time, y'all, this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy for Whimsy. Mwah! I'm out.